Hey guys, and welcome to what is now the brand new Moocharoo Ninja 2.0 site that we've got. And so just so glad, so relieved to have that up and running now for you guys. That is great. So what we can do now is we can put away all of these toilet rolls. Get rid of them. So we've now had the Bitcoin halving. We've also got Moocharoo Ninja 2.0 up and running. What is going to happen next in the markets? That's what everybody wants to know. And here's the thing now. All of you that have been watching this channel for some time, you must know surely by now that I was once a student of the Rob Kiyosaki Rich Dad Education Program. So back there in 2007, I started that. I think it was £600 for the first weekend course away, and then £15,000 for the full system. That was pretty much everything that I had at the time, and I put all of that into this Rich Dad education system. And within 1 year, so when I left the army in 2008, I'd had enough real estate, enough rental income coming in. I never had to work again. So even though 15,000 is what most people would spend on like going to university, in fact actually even less than what people spend going to university now, within 1 year I had become completely financially independent and free, and no longer really needed a job, which of course is very unlike everybody which spends that kind of money on going to university and then they have to work every single year of their life to just to pay the bills. So it really is important just who that you listen to. And one of the things that Rob Kiyosaki, through all of that training kept going on about was the importance to actually listen to the people that are doing really well in any particular market. You want to listen to the top people. So as I was saying, as we started this video, where do we go now? What is going to happen next? Yes, we've had the Bitcoin halving already. I was chatting with a lot of you guys there that night on the Moocharoo chat over on Telegram. That is behind us, and what we have right now is Bitcoin, and we've come up. This was the sort of the halving day around here somewhere. I think that this was the halving day on the 11th of May. And, you know, we kind of came down for a bit there, and now what is Bitcoin going to do? Is it going to carry on down? Is it going to go up? Maybe, possibly, it might go up, form a double top, go back down. Who knows? Who can we look to with a bit of advice on what's going to happen next? What about the stock market? Just take a look here at Apple. So this was Apple back in February, before the whole coronavirus crash really kicked off. And you got Apple came all the way down there. And now, even though companies all over the world are shut down, they're getting pumped up on fake money getting pushed out by the US government to the investment banks, and they're pushing up all of this. So what is going on, guys? What's going to be going on with Bitcoin? What's going on in the stock market? What is going on with the world economy? Have you guys ever heard of a guy called Paul Tudor Jones? He is kind of like the Warren Buffett of the hedge fund industries. Out in Wall Street in America, he's someone that actually predicted the 1987 crash, very famously in a documentary called Trader. You can actually still find that now on YouTube. In fact, I shall leave a little video up there or there, wherever it is, and you can watch that. I suggest you do. It's very, very good. So Paul Tudor Jones came from pretty much nothing at all, and now he's one of the richest guys there on Wall Street with a very, very, very successful hedge fund. They make about 20% every single year, and this is what he has to say about the situation with the economy right now.
For a long time, you were a skeptic of Bitcoin and some cryptocurrencies, but you recently appear to have changed your mind about that. What happened?
Well, COVID happened and the great monetary inflation happened, and that made me begin to think about how do you want to be positioned in your portfolio going forward. So that's really what tripped my interest in Bitcoin. I've got something between 1 and I think just over 1% of my assets in Bitcoin. Maybe it's almost 2. That seems like the right number right now. It may end up being the best performer of all of them. I kind of think it might be, but I'm very conservative. I'm going to keep a tiny percent of my assets in it, and that's it. It has not stood the test of time, for instance, the way that gold has, which has been a store of value for 2,500 years.
Yep, Paul Tudor Jones, PTJ, as his mates call him, I'm told. This guy is now investing in Bitcoin. Almost 2% of his portfolio now in Bitcoin. One thing that you have to imagine, that's not quite the word, one thing to bear in mind is the fact that just like Rob Kiyosaki says that you want to sort of mimic what these other bigger guys are doing, which are very successful, a lot of people do that, particularly on Wall Street, and a lot of hedge funds or private investors will look at somebody like him and will want to sort of copy his strategies to try and copy in his success. So now that he's came out and said that 2% of his portfolio is now in Bitcoin, I should imagine a lot of other hedge funds are going to be doing exactly the same. He also mentioned gold as well, but he did not mention any stocks. And if we have a look at what Warren Buffett has just recently been coming out with over on some sort of investment meeting which has been going on with him and Berkshire Hathaway, he has sold off, as far as I can tell, all of his stocks. He is all in cash and T-bills. That's right, guys, the Oracle of Omaha right there, Warren Buffett, and he is out of stocks. Quite famously sold all of his airline stocks and by the looks of it, everything else as well right now, because the stock market is, as we could see here, you know, with Apple, or I could pretty much bring up any other stock, and you can see that it's done really, really well, despite the fact that everyone's on lockdown. You've got this global pandemic going on, yet the stocks are all sky high, back at their old all-time highs. It's absolutely crazy. And then just this morning, I was watching this little clip here on the news from a guy down in the city of London.
It's estimated that GDP for the first quarter of the year has fallen by 2%, the biggest fall since the financial crisis of 2008. Since the lockdown only began towards the end of the first quarter, it's only a partial representation of the pandemic's impact, with a bigger slump potentially set for the second quarter. Andrew Sentence, a former member of the Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee, joining us now from Broxbourne. Hello to you. Thanks for joining us. What did you make of the figures? Partial figures, as we said.
Well, I think Ian summed it up pretty well. They weren't quite as bad as expected, but they're very provisional figures. All sectors of the economy seem to be affected, but the really bad quarter is going to be the second quarter, when we are likely to see a fall in GDP by 20 to 30%. Now, that is something that we have not seen in the whole history of recording GDP.
I hope you did get what he said there.
To see a fall in GDP by 20 to 30%.
That's right, guys. 20 to 30% down for GDP. They are predicting, here in the UK at least, for the second quarter here. Something which has never, ever happened before in history. If the first quarter we just went down, we were down 2% in GDP, which I believe he said was like back in 2008. And if we have a look here at the Dow Jones, so what we have, this is the 2007-2008 crash here. In fact, if I just make this a little bit smaller, there we go. So you can see just how colossal that was in 2008. So if that was a 2% down in GDP, and he's predicting something never happened before in history, minus 20 to 30% down in GDP. Currently, we're right here in stocks. I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely looking at taking up a few short positions. In fact, here it is right here. So this, what you're looking at, is the Dow Jones Industrial Average here over on TradingView. Whoops, I got the wrong tool there. And you can see this was back in February, March. I believe I stuck this on when it was hitting all-time highs, thinking this is crazy, absolutely ridiculous. and right now it's come down from there all the way down during the dip. It came up, I believe, a bit of a dead cat bounce, and right now you're going to see this kind of sort of head and shoulders move here and a long, very long move back down, just like over here. This was 2008, 2009, and I believe we are going to see at least the same sort of retracement there for stocks. So a very good time to go short. What does that mean for Bitcoin? Well, I believe this is why we see Warren Buffett getting all out of stocks and people like Paul Tudor Jones actually taking up Bitcoin. And now that those two guys have come out publicly and saying that this is their plan, lots of people copy those people. Those are really the top people, top of their game. Warren Buffett for investing, Paul Tudor Jones, he's a trader rather than investor, normally trades in futures. So I would suggest that every futures trader, every hedge fund, they're all going to follow what he does and go into Bitcoin. And everyone which is sort of more into long-term investing, everyone which is following Buffett, they're going to be straight out of stocks if they've got any sense, because that is going to go down. I would very much expect that's got to go, right? Got to go. So Bitcoin right now, yes, maybe the chance of a sort of double top down a little bit, maybe down to these levels before coming up higher. It's what you would expect after a Bitcoin halving, a bit of a cool off period before the real bull run begins. However, with top guys like this coming out saying that PTJ there, he's investing in Bitcoin, lots of other people already predicting a dip, expecting a dip. Maybe that was already it. Maybe it's not going to go down anymore. We are just going to go higher from here. We don't really know. What I'm doing is just following my own trading strategy, which I've built into the master signals over on Moocharoo Ninja. And we've also just released the portfolio tracker in the masters area, so that now you can actually track that rather than having to go through the master signals. Come take a look, see what I'm talking about. Right, so here we are. This is the new look Moocharoo Ninja site. Now, we haven't converted every single page yet, so if you go over to the master signals page, you can see that a lot of these signals, this is all just the old site here. So this is what we got through. We got selling off a couple of Engine coin. That is really, really high right now. So if you have a look at Engine, here we go. So this is Engine right now. You can see really, really high, which is why it's getting triggered there to just sell off. As it says, just one lot. You don't want to sort of sell off everything right now, because the chances are it could go a lot higher, but just take a little bit of profit, a little teeny bit of profit there, just one lot being sold off. And, buying in Zcoin and Zcash, if you look at them right now, they're both pretty low. But the main problem with this is the fact that you're going to have to sort of scroll down, adding up one lot here, one lot there, and then you've got Theta, 10 lots, and it's quite a lot of head work trying to go through and follow this day in, day out. So I have that trouble, and all the things which I build here into Moocharoo Ninja, I really just build for myself. But then why just build it for myself when I can also build it for all you guys as well and let you guys benefit from whatever I make? So what we have now is this portfolio tracker. Now, if I click on that, you're going to come up with this here. So it's going to ask for your account value. So you could say maybe you've got half a Bitcoin. You can put half a Bitcoin in there. Maybe that's your Binance account or whatever you use for your trading. And then you've got stock trading account. Again, let's just say you've got, say, $5,000 in a stock trading account. You can put that as to whatever your trading account is on the day. So every single day that figure can move, and it will mean that the lot size, the amounts that you're buying and selling, the amounts you should have, will just change automatically for you. So right here, it's going to say, this is all fake, by the way. This is on local host on my little machine here. This is like development environment, so don't think this is real. Here we got Apple. So Apple stocks at like $300, and you got 5 lots of that. So that means $10 per lot, which would be $50. Hopefully that makes sense. So you should be holding about 0.17 of a share. Now you can normally do this with like CFDs or spread betting accounts, this type of stuff. You can just buy X amount and you don't have to buy a full share. So you can trade that if you want to, you know, you don't have to trade stocks. You know, if you are just pure crypto, you can come up here and just filter out the stocks, or just look at the stocks, one of the two, whatever you like. So say this one, Cardano, there you go. We can see that we've got 3 trades which have been tracked. So this is how many trades have been tracked while it's been running, over what time period. So it's been time tracked over 13 weeks. As I say, this is all fake, okay? This isn't real. That would be the average ROI there, so you know just how well this signal is performing. And currently we would be holding 18 lots at 0.001 lot per lot, which would be obviously 0.18 altogether. So that is how much you should have. That would be the value in Bitcoin. This would be how many actual Cardano you would be holding, because Cardano is only 523 sats. So you would be needing in your, say your Binance, your OKX, your KuCoin, whatever it is that you use for trading, you would roughly be wanting to hold about that much. This makes it so much easier than every single day logging into their master signals, or, you know, grabbing your phone and, you know, you get the notifications for the signals through on your phone, and then you're just trying to follow it in real time. Basically, all you need to do now, once per day, come on here, go onto the portfolio tracker, put in the figures for your account, your trading account, and it will just show you how much you should be holding according to this strategy, according to the signals. So I hope you like that. I hope you think that's pretty cool. And obviously next week we got even more stuff we're building in there into the masters area on Moocharoo Ninja constantly now. Every week over the next few weeks, we're just going to be putting more and more features into that site. And so let me know in the comments below just what you think is going to be happening with the economy, not just Bitcoin, but the whole economy. And I shall see you again soon in the next video.